Hello everyone, my name is Sundas Bibi and I'm one of the health and social care lecturer at Scholar School System. I'm lead for module Healthy Aging and the module code for Healthy Aging is SHN7083. You can find my email address as given below in the slide sundas@scholarschool.ac.uk. So the purpose of today's video is that we will provide you information on what are the learning outcomes of this module, how to access this module on Moodle, which learning material is in this module, which key topics we are going to cover in this module, what teaching and learning strategies will be employed, what are the assignments which you have to do for this module, and what is the marking criteria about those assignments. Before moving forward, I would just want to let you guys know that the Healthy Aging is for course Masters in Health and Wellbeing and it will be taught in semester 2 of level 7. So moving forward, I just want to let you know that how to access this module on Moodle. First of all, you all have to log into your Moodle using your credentials, your email IDs and passwords. Then you have to click the option Departments from the top and then click MSc Health and Wellbeing. Then click Level 7 and scroll down to find out the module Healthy Aging with code 7083. Once you can find the Healthy Aging module, you can scroll down to see all your week-wise lectures are there with pre-session and post-session activities. On the top, you can find your module handbook, your assignment briefs, each and everything in detail. So you can go through all of your lectures through the Moodle for this specific module. Now the first thing is to introduce you guys to this module. What is actually a healthy aging? Healthy aging is about all keeping the older people well and active. As all of you know that UK's population and the rich countries age quickly, and this not only affects their job, housing and also as well as pensions. This module will examine how society view aging and what are the policies and the practices related to this aging, both at the national level and the international level. We will also look into the biological and psychological aspects of the aging and evaluating the ways to help people age successfully. Basically, the goal of this module is to develop effective policies and practices so that we can successfully address the challenges the aging population is facing. So there are 4 learning outcomes of this module. First of all is to evaluate how different cultures and societies view aging and how they can create the policies and practices, especially considering diversity and disabilities. Then the second learning outcome is to demonstrate an understanding of biology of aging with particular reference to cardiovascular, brain and mobility impairments. It means we will understand how aging affects body, especially heart, brain and movement related impairments. Then we will critically examine, that is the third learning outcome, in which we are going to examine the factors critically that affect successful aging, like what is the role of personality, what are responsibilities, action, layer activities, exercise, nutrition, relationship, and all those. Then at the end, the last learning outcome is about analyzing the research interventions and which promote the healthy aging for healthy population and for those with age-related disorder. It means we will do a research on the programs and the methods which support the healthy aging, both for generally healthy older adults and those with age-related issues. So your week-wise learning, you might have a question that how is your week-wise learning going to be conducted? Your lectures will be delivered to you guys on the weekly basis. So in week 1 you will be given an introduction week in which you will be introduced to the module. In week 2 there will be a module in orientation, and along with that there will be a detailed discussion about aging, ageism, and what's the debates around this specific topic. And in week 3 we are going to discuss the topic number 2, that is policy, legislation and aging with respect to work, retirement, pension and fundings. In week 4, you're going to discuss about topic 3, that is policy, legislation and aging discussion with respect to healthcare, housing and the future. In week 5, you will discuss the different biological and psychological approaches to the aging, and in week 6 different sociological approaches will be taught to you guys related to aging, what are the holistic models of aging, and module summary and review. And the week forwards will focus on your assignments. Then you might have a question how learning is going to take place. So this learning will be a blended teaching approach in which we will use the different teaching and learning strategies that will be comprised of different tutorials, webinars, one-to-one support sessions, pre-session and post-session activities which are given on the Moodle as well after every lecture, independent study, and the lectures. Now you have different assignments for this module. So I'm going to get into the detail of this. So for this specific module, you are required to do the 4 tasks. Your first 2 tasks, task number 1 and task number 2, are the part of your portfolio number 1. It means that you have 2 assignments for this specific module that are named as portfolio number 1 and portfolio number 2. In portfolio number 1, you have to do task number 1 and task number 2, and for portfolio number 2, you have to do task number 3 and task number 4. So in task number 1, you are required to write basically an essay that will critically examine the factors affecting the increase in state pension across the developing countries. You should explore and analyze the different factors such as increased expectancy, life expectancy, demographic changes within a growing proportion of elderly individuals, and different economic pressures on the pension system. Then you can discuss how these factors are necessary in policy changing to ensure the sustainability of the pension schemes. You can provide the different examples from developing countries to illustrate these points, such as UK extending the state pension age in response to their longevity and demographic pressures, and similar trends are observed in the different countries like Germany and Japan as well. So you can relate by giving the different examples, and basically your essay should critically evaluate the effectiveness and implication of these policy decisions. So that's all you have to do in your task number 1, in which you're going to write down an essay that will critically examine the different factors increasing the state pension ages across the different countries by giving the example either of UK or any other country. In task number 2, you are required to create a poster which you are going to present in the class. So what this poster will contain? In this poster, you are going to conduct first of all an interview with any older person, and in this poster you will highlight the attitudes and concepts of aging. As discussed in your interview, you will ask the person about what they think and how society is giving their attitude, what is the concept of society or attitude of society towards them. Then you can highlight you can critically examine how these attitudes and concepts have shaped the individual experiences of aging. For example, if the interviewee is telling you that society views aging negatively and this has impacted their self-esteem or their social interaction, so in your poster you should explore these things in detail. Along with that, you can mention the quotes in from the interview in your poster, and then you can relate the relevant theoretical perspectives, which is very important, and you can add the visuals as well in the form of the graphs and the images to support your analysis. Basically, this task aims to provide a comprehensive view of how society attitude towards what is basically the attitude of society towards aging that influence their personal experiences. So that's all you have to do in the task number 1 and task number 2. And in this task number 1 and task number 2, will make up your portfolio number 1. First of all, you have to write an essay that will be comprised of task number 1. Once you are done with that, you have to create a poster, and at the end of the task number 1 on the same document you have to post your poster, and after delivering the presentation then you can post it, and then your portfolio is ready. Now is your task number 3 and 4 that will comprise of your second assignment, that is portfolio number 2. So you might have a question what you have to do in task number 3. So in task number 3 you need to evaluate any policy related to health and social care for older people. So your evaluation should focus on three different aspects. One is attitude to aging, in which you are going to examine what policy it is suggesting about society view on aging. For example, does it see the older people as a valuable member of the society or as a burden? So in the second, the key focus should be on promotion of successful aging. Look at how that specific policy supports the positive aging. For instance, does it encourage the activities that keep the older people healthy and engaged, like different community programs or health checkups? Then the third focus should be on personalization and dignity. It means you have to assess how this specific policy respects and addresses the individual needs for older people, especially like let's say those with the dementia and brain disorders. So you have to explain, does that specific policy offers the personalized care plan that maintain their dignity and independence or not? You can say, for example, if you are creating a policy on dementia care, you might analyze how it ensures that the patients are treated with respect and how it incorporates the activities to keep them active and healthy, and what attitudes towards the dementia it reflects. Your task is to provide basically a thorough critique of these elements within this specific chosen policy. So this is all you have to do, a critical evaluation of the policy related to health and social care setting for aging population. In task number 4, again you're required to create a proposal that will include a plan, that for a specific, you can say an intervention plan you have to create for aging population. First of all, you have to choose any health issue, like let's say physical fitness, mental health or nutrition. Then you have to design an intervention to address this issue. For example, you might propose a weekly exercise class for the senior people to improve their physical fitness. So along with your proposal, you need to develop an intervention plan to measure the success of your intervention. This could include surveys, health assessments, and feedback sessions to determine if the exercise class improves the patient's health or not. Your task is to clearly outline the intervention and how it evaluates its effectiveness. So once you are done with creation of your intervention plan, you have to evaluate it as well. You will give your objectives, goals, and evaluation of your program in detail, along with the proper analysis of that plan in the proposal, and you have to present that proposal in the class. So again, task 3 and task 4 will make up your portfolio number 2, that is your assignment number 2. Once you are going to list your task number 3 in the Word document, at the end of this you are going to write down task, you can say let's task 2, and then you have to paste your intervention plan there, and you have to present it, and you'll be done with your assignment number 2. So as I already told you that your this module is having two portfolios as an assignment, portfolio number 1 and portfolio number 2. Portfolio number 1 is having 3000 words or equivalent. Portfolio number 2 as a whole comprised of 3000 words or equivalent. If we talk about passing percentage, so there is 50% passing marks for portfolio number 1 and 50 for portfolio number 2. Portfolio number 1 will be, its deadline will be in mid semester 2. Exact dates, for exact dates please check your assignment briefs. And for portfolio number and portfolio number 1 will be comprised of task 1 and task 2 as I discussed earlier. In portfolio number 2, again, the word count is 3000 or equivalents, passing percentage is again 50-50%, and you have to give the portfolio number 2 at the end of semester 2. Again, for the exact dates, you have to check your assignment briefs, and it will comprise of task number 3 and task number 4. If we look into the breakdown of these components, so as you can see, your portfolio number 1, that is comprising of task 1 and task 2. We are going to look into the different components. So for the task number 1, in which you are going to write an essay that will critically examine the factors that increase the that basically affects the increase in state pension across the developing countries, what we are going to look into it. So we will see the structure of your assignment, how is the layout of your assignment, your grammar, your spelling, the organization, and the flow of your assignment. Is it easy to follow or not? Then we will look into the research, the different sources which you are going to list, and the different literature you are going to quote in your work. And then we will look into the understanding, either you got the understanding of the learning outcome or not. Then your analysis and critical review, which you are going to do about that specific factors. And at the end we are going to look into the presentation and academic conventions, the presentation of your work. In task number 2, obviously, first of all, you have to present a journal interviewee introduction. You have to give to whom you interviewed, what was the age of that person, your name, from where you met that person. So you have to give a brief introduction of that specific person. So we are going to look into that. Then you have to do the analysis of the information in detail by giving all the information. Then you have to relate it with the different theories in your poster, and then after that we are going to look into the presentation of your poster and your academic conventions. So as a whole, there is no need to get confused. As you can see, there are different percentages and each is 100%, but we are going to look into the average of task number 1 and task number 2, and obviously we will give you marks accordingly as it is one assignment. So if you look into the task number 3 and task number 4, again task number 3, in which you're going to critically evaluate a specific policy. So we will look into the evidence mean the sources which you're going to list in your portfolio, and the different sources, reliable resources from where you're going to get information. You can relate the different researchers according to the specific information as well. And then we are going to look into the content. The content will be comprised of 50%. This means that you have to reflect, your content should reflect on 3 things: attitude of the people towards the aging, integration of the factors to promote the successful aging, and accommodation of needs for the personalization and dignity, as I have discussed before. And then we will look into critical interpretation, that is comprised of 30% marks. So in critical interpretation, obviously how you are critically analyzing that specific policy, we are going to look into that. So that is again making up 100, but there's no need to worry about that. We will take the average of both of the tasks. So task number 4, in which you are required to create a intervention plan, and you have to evaluate that intervention plan as well. So we are going to first look into the rationale behind choosing that intervention plan. Rationale means the reason behind choosing that specific plan. So you have to give a brief justification for the intervention plan. Then we are going to look into your intervention plan, which specific health issue you have chosen, how you have created your plan, either the aims, objectives, and goals are there or not, how you are going to analyze that plan. So your evaluation, we are going to look into that. Then again, user supporting evidence. Are you going to are you adding a specific literature from the reliable resources in that or not? So we are going to look into that. And then at the end we will look into the structure and style, spellings, grammars, and your referencing as well. So again, both of the tasks are 100%, so there's no need to worry about, as it is one assignment. So we will take average out of that. So that's all about assessments. Once again, I am repeating, you have to do 2 portfolios for this healthy aging module. Portfolio number 1 is having task number 1 and task number 2, and portfolio number 2 is having task number 3 and task number 4. For portfolio number 1, the task number 2 is going to be a poster which you are going to present, and for portfolio number 2 there's a task number 4 in which you're going to create an intervention plan, and again you have to present that as well. So that's all about assessments. So if we talk about submissions and marking, so you can see the full marking criteria in detail in your module handbooks. If we talk about submission time, so once you will get your exact dates from your assignment briefs, then you have to submit that specific assignment by 12 p.m. on that specific submission day. If we talk about late submissions, so if your assignment is late for from starting to day number 5. So your marks, 5 marks will be deducted for every 24 hours. Okay, so late submission, if there are more than 5 days, then it will be not be marked. And if your work is plagiarized and conclusion means if your work is plagiarism means if your work is copied from the different sources, and collusion means if you have copied someone else's work. So both of them are academic misconduct cases. In this case, you're going to fail the assignment. So reading resources. So here I have given the different list of the articles which are about healthy aging. You can find the information from these articles. These will help you in making up your assignments, your portfolios, and you can find a list of the resources from the module handbook as well, because here I have just given you the few articles here on the slide. Along with the reading resources, essential library resources. So I will recommend you guys to log into your Moodle either, or if we have given you the links of the library as well in the slide too, so you can easily go on to the link of the library. You can find the different resources there. We have books related to your module, online different resources, guides, tutorials, different research articles, journals related to the topic. You can find all this information from there. It will be very easy for you to understand each and every topic by going through these articles and library resources, and it will be easier for you to make up your portfolio. That's all about the introduction video. Thank you so much for listening. If you got any questions, you can ask your designated tutors. Thank you. Bye bye.